Greetings, person currently watching this, and welcome back to Fallout New Vegas, Tales of the Burning Sand Edition. So, in the last episode, we saw a creepy painting and read the even creepier diary of the person who owns the painting. So let us continue by reading observation logs. Series A41260 is making remarkable progress in target acquisition capability. The breakthrough A.3, or I guess A3, ganglion melding has been enhanced for the A4 series. Ganglion melding. Is ganglion a word? I feel like it's a word. Like a real word. And the specimen is demonstrating intelligence on par with Canis lupus, familiaris, dog. Sub/sub-C strata projections. Yeah, whatever that means. That. Yeah. In fact, it... Holy crud. A4 just ripped a leg off of specimen T8's cephalothora blah 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 blah. The chest section of the bug, and proceeded to employ hydrostatic pressure to... Oh hell, it ripped the spotter's leg off and proceeded to beat T8 to death with it. Whatever A4 is, it sounds like a badass. Note to self, edit observation log to be as detached and boring as possible, for better chance of inclusion in next month's Scientific Journal of Scientific Discovery, Science. Yes, the Scientific Journal of Scientific Discovery, Science, brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department. Alright, so, next one, let's see. A121986 appears to be in a state of high agitation recently. It continually pivots to face senior researcher Wimsley, and exhibits heightened aggression levels in its presence. For reasons no one on the team can ascertain, we're going to begin analyzing diet and chemical intake portfolios, allergy medication, alcohol and tobacco consumption, etc., to establish a baseline for possible stimulus vectors. And the final one. Why does Dave get 2 pencils? I want 2 pencils. At first I thought it was an oversight, but every time I'm on duty to log my observations, there it is, in plain sight. My desk, 1 pencil. His desk, 2 pencils. Alright, yeah, that's, it's cool and all. Okay, there's a pencil, there's another pencil, and that's a pencil. Yeah, because pencils. Alright, so let's get going. So, we have destruction. This is to be expected, considering that the dude did kind of destroy the place because of his creepiness. Open pen C door. Yeah, let's not do that just yet. Okay, we have a dead body here. That's kind of to be expected. Alright, so I'm guessing it opens U. So let's go ahead and do this because this game has physics enabled. We're gonna move these out the way. It'll just make it easier for me to get in there. Hey, hold this for a second. Thanks, bud. Alright. So, open the door. Alright, who wants to be deadified? Who? Okay, fine, never mind. Alright, more pencils. More pencils. Oh, there's some rounds for a gun I don't have. And carton of cigarettes. Those are kind of nice. I mean, you can make some nice money off of those. Alright, I hear you skittering around. Oh, giant spider. Huh, that's interesting. Huh, that's interesting. It's interesting to me because that spider is in the Mo Monsters mod, which is a mod for Fallout, which, as you can guess by its name, adds Mo Monsters to the game. It adds a lot of them. I'm gonna have to show you guys sometime. It adds a crap ton of new monsters, but spiders are one of them. Then again, I think with that mod, it's probably that, you know, someone else coded that spider. Oh, hey, Venus flytraps. Oh, what is this? Pencil facts. Okay, if you can read that, congratulations. I can't, that's chicken scratch. Alrighty, so, you look like you might have something important inside of you. Come on. Stop fighting it, there we are. Show me your contents. Mentats, Nuka-Cola, and Sunset Sarsaparilla. That's actually good. What are you? Oh, you're another carnivorous plant. I don't know what your name is because I'm not a plant person. Alright, so what levels of creep will we find on this one? Okay, so yeah, there's the unlock the door, which I think we already did. Whatever. Let's go ahead and read these because, you know, you guys seem to like it when I do. Okay. No, I think it's lead botanist. Oh, hold on, let me move that out of the way. I don't know if you guys will see that, but the pointer was in the way. It was annoying. That always makes me feel like I'm in charge. of a strange PB-based flowering organism. But even so, it's good to see it next to my door. It was a long struggle to get that degree, and being called a botanist really makes me proud. That's a botanist is what you call a person who studies flowers. You know, it's kind of like when you call the weather guy on the news station a meteorologist. It just makes it's just a fancier way of saying he looks at plants all day. There's really no reason that I should have been selected. BioEngine is doing some incredibly groundbreaking research here, and the partnership with the minds at Vault 22 has led to a cream-of-the-crop academic ecosystem with BioEngine. Hello, I'm lead botanist David Fairchild. But that does sound pretentious. I'll need to find a way to introduce myself to other team members without subverting my position nor coming off as an arrogant ass. David F. D. Fairchild. Dr. Fairchild. Dr. D. Fairchild. Lead botanist DF. I even need to figure out how to sign my name to things. Should I mix it up? Be spontaneous? Establish an appellative stratagem? Yeah. Look that word up for me, please. Early to make sure my mark is easily visible? I think I'll just sign things David. I'm the youngest one on the team, in addition to being the only one with only one PhD. Gulp. Really? Who puts gulp in a... Whatever. So perhaps it makes sense to play it low-key. Lost and found. The work here is beyond anything I could have imagined. I think I now know why I was given the golden ticket for this post, despite my comparatively mediocre credentials. My first published paper, Evidence of Cognizance in Dionea Miscupilla, words, was greeted with derision, disbelief, and outright mockery, but apparently it did not escape the attention of BioEngine. I knew there was a spark there, a hidden bundle of cells awaiting the right stimulus. My efforts reflected off of it, showing shadows of the reality. BioEngine found it. I have no doubt that the research team here used some of my data to bring this project to life. They found it. They found a way to unlock the inexplicable DNA core buried in those curious cells. Alright, so I guess we're kind of getting a bit of story as, you know, the typical story of scientists meddling in things they shouldn't meddle in, and then it blows up in their face. Cross species. I've made amazing progress with the current specimen. The hydrostatic chamber augmentations have been impressive, but I'm most interested in the empathic responses of the A4 series. I can't shake the feeling that there's something wrong with this whole operation. Exploring plant intelligence is a dream come true for me, and BioEngine has repeatedly assured me that my contributions to the team will not be used for military applications. It's totally going to be used for military applications. Yet, today, I logged my most extraordinary observation yet, and it went without comment. From the supposed Neutral Review Department, C.S. Casters, fellow researcher on the team, and an attractive young woman, dropped her clipboard at one point during an observational cycle. I could not help but notice her shapely form as she bent over to retrieve her so are we still talking about them lying to you? Because I feel like you kind of just derailed to talking about this woman that you have the hots for. As I blushed in embarrassment over my own reaction to seeing Miss Casters, A4 tracked my movements, adopting a crimson hue to match my own red-eating visage. That response was over a distance of 90 feet, behind a wall of inch-thick glass and a robust ventilation system, indicating that A4 must have some sort of visual response to such stimulus. This is fascinating. This is a fascinating development. I'll need to collect more data and start formulating a hypothesis. Don't know why I messed up on that word. Alright, my first report. I can't believe Franklin is old enough now to write his first report at school. It seems like only yesterday he was still in diapers, crawling around and tugging on Dad's pants. So, are you married and have a child and you're having the hots for another woman? Is that what you're saying? It seemed right to hang it up on the wall and give it a rightful place of honor. I'll have to take him out. Oh, that's the thing to the left of us right now. Okay, take him out for ice cream on Friday to celebrate. A double scoop of triple chocolate blast from Mr. Creamies sounds like a great way to end the week. Well, that was definitely less creepy and more upbeat than the last terminal we read. This thing here. That's what he's talking about. Alright, moving on. Wait, insert you. Is there, okay, 3 bottle caps, kinda sorta makes it worth it. 5.56 rounds, those are good. And some Sunset Sarsaparilla. Totally makes it worth it. Okay. So I can get inside of you. But it looks like there's an enemy in here of some sort. Okay. Oh, I need a damaged spore pod. Okay, well then I guess that's what we need to find next, is a damaged spore pod. Seriously, that glass is like whatever. Let's see. Chemical synthesizer. Synthesized compound. Don't know what I'm supposed to be synthesizing at the moment. Okay, raw materials. Alrighty. I think most of this episode is going to be me reading, but then again, that's most of this Let's Play, isn't it? Oh, well, okay. Yeah, wow, jeez, okay. Can we not? We have to, don't we? Yeah, I think we're gonna have to. That's nice. Alright, so I guess this is what we're gonna do. Can I take something out of it? No, I can't. Alright, well, here we go. Oh, okay, never mind. Here we go again, I suppose. Worrying objectives. Over a period of 7 months, we've made astonishing progress on cultivating and hybridizing the new strain. Supposedly, the Arachnid Division is also posting excellent results. We're thankfully not in a directly competitive situation. The expectations for our department have been surprisingly moderate. I have noticed a disturbing trend. Nearly every objective tossed our way relates to enhancing durability and aggressiveness. Vault 22's initial design document for this project clearly stated that we were to develop a revolutionary plant product that could defend gardens and fields from animals that might eat crops. Our current stable specimen has more than enough offensive capability, a rather worrying term from some of the status inquiries I've seen, to kill moles, rabbits, and even small deer in a matter of seconds. I already feel that we've focused too heavily on that aspect, and any more might result in changes that make it a real threat to humans in close proximity. Okay? So kind of what it's kind of sort of what I said, because that's usually the basis for like some horror movies, isn't it? They start off with like trying to make something, and then the military's like, oh, we could use that as a weapon. Focus more on making that a weapon. And then they turn it into a weapon, and then the weapon breaks loose and kills everybody. And then you have horror movie where rugged hero and token hottie are the only ones who survive for some reason, and evil jackass guy is the one who usually dies the most violent death. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Specimen A120986 has far exceeded expectations. While the other individuals in this test bracket have eventually had to be sacrificed due to complications arising from genetic aberrations, A6 has thrived. A6 has done so well that we've even given it a nickname, Audrey. A bit less ponderous to use than, A12986. Though I'm a little concerned that anthropomorphizing, basically taking something that isn't human and giving it human qualities, the specimen may lead to reduced objectivity, meaning that by giving it a name, people will start to develop an emotional attachment to it. Given my concerns over the true nature of this project, however, perhaps a bit of reduced objectivity would benefit us all by enabling us to step back and look at the implications of this research. Rabbit modification blah blah blah. Okay. Audrey demonstrated a shocking ability today. Rabbit modified conlobation as evidence of defensive posturing, as the official report states. The observation took place during maintenance of Audrey's pen. One of the lights in the pen shorted out, and the bulb exploded, sending a shower of glass down onto Audrey. She rapidly retracted all exposed leaves and folded into a teardrop-shaped mass, remarkably similar in appearance to the spore pods the organisms developed during reproductive cycles. After approximately 30 seconds, Audrey unfurled and resumed watching the maintenance workers as if nothing had happened. It's unclear how such a complete decompression of the body mass could be achieved, let alone so rapidly. While I did not document the time required for the process to complete, it appeared to be less than 100 milliseconds. That's similar to the response time of a Venus flytrap closing its trap. The fact that Audrey can effect such a compression on its entire structure in the same period of time is nothing short of phenomenal. Okay. Aggression catalyst. Audrey exhibited a curious behavior pattern today, as we've discovered an interesting catalyst for aggression. We attempted to install a new energy wave shifting electron containment field in the lab today as a precaution against any specimens escaping the pens. It's a multi-purpose model, as it can be set at several different levels, from stun to nearly instant termination. There's currently one of these installed in front of the main exit from the labs. It's generally off, but apparently they set it to lethal levels in the event of a security failure. That was that force field upstairs, I believe. After installment, we powered the device on to test it for functionality. Audrey went, for a lack of a better term, nuts. She immediately swiveled toward the containment field, quivering the whole time, and rapidly discharging her EEVP, enzyme-enriched venom packet, at the field. To the shock of everyone present, the EEVP shorted out the containment field. Perhaps the signature frequency of the containment field fooled Audrey into thinking it was some sort of predator. Whatever the case, she disabled it with expediency. Quickly. We've handed off an EEVP compositional analysis to Energy Wave, under the strict NDA, of course, so they can determine what caused the malfunction. In the meantime, we're being careful not to install any electronic devices that operate in a similar frequency range as the field near Audrey. Alright, so I think I need to probably use the machine behind me to synthesize this EVP of Audrey's, and then use it on the field upstairs to short circuit it so that I can get through and get to the goodies within. Right, the happening. I nearly died today, and next to the day of the birth of my son. It was the most amazing day of my life. I shouldn't be at home in bed, or I should be at home in bed, letting my injured leg heal, but I had to come here and record this note before any detail of the day's events slipped from my mind. We had a breakthrough today, resulting from pure accident, an accident that may well influence perceptions regarding the primacy of man. I realized that my near state of shock may be the layering on the adjectives and superstitions a bit thick. Suppositions. Whatever that word. But what happened to me in the lab today was nothing short of a miracle. As with a great many interesting stories throughout human history. It started with drugs. Okay, I've never heard of great stories in history starting with drugs. I mean, recent history, sure. Anyways, I don't normally make a habit of taking Mentats, as growing rumors of its addictive compounds and potentially dangerous psychotropic effects make me more than a little cautious. However, it's the only drug I've found that take care of my self-named power headaches. Headaches that strike me rarely in the mornings and leave me nauseous and shaky until late afternoon. I've discovered through desperate trial and error that a double dose of Mentats will greatly shorten the duration of the headache. One such headache hit me this morning just before I left for work. Today was an important day. Quarterly reviews were due, and I was expecting a wealth of new data that I had to process before the day was over. I popped a couple of the Mentats and got in my car. I felt increasingly strange on the drive to work. The headache was all but gone, but I was experiencing odd shifts in my color and depth perception. Upon arriving at BioEngine, I looked curiously at the box of Mentats. To my shock, I discovered I'd accidentally grabbed a box of extra-strength Mentats, toting twice the potency of regular Mentats. That sounds really dangerous. Why would they make such a product? After a bit of mental arithmetic that longer to complete than it should have, I realized I'd taken the equivalent of 4 tablets. 4 times the recommended dose. I remembered reading somewhere that 6 tablets was the threshold for call the hospital and get your stomach pumped, meaning overdose, for average adults. So I took a gamble and decided to tough it out until the Mentats wore off. Entering the science labs, I saw with some surprise that the security observation cameras were off. It appeared that a member of the staff had forgotten to engage the visual component of the scanning system after routine maintenance last night, instead activating only the audio recording capabilities of the cameras. BioEngine insisted upon 24/7 monitoring. So this oversight would likely cost someone their job. I do my best to get it reactivated before anyone found out, and hopefully save some poor scrub from losing his job. But I had to take care of my own business first and check on Audrey. When I entered the research pens, I noticed that Audrey was acting a bit strangely, following my every movement, tracking me with great precision. She also appeared to be quivering slightly. I was slightly alarmed that she might be suffering from some sort of infection, so I hurried into the pen to run some tests. As soon as I drew near Audrey, did something we'd not observed in any specimen. She lunged at me. Never before had a specimen shown any interest in attacking humans, but today something had changed. In a heartbeat, I was pulled off of my feet, and my left leg was in her powerful trap, her modified leaves pressing down, and one impaled my leg, striking a vein and sinking in deep. I let out a scream and struggled to escape. Blood spewed from the wound, and I screamed again, trying to drag my foot away from her. My mental-addled brain processed the whole scene in slow motion, and the blood gushing from my leg seemed a surreal pink, shimmering as it dripped from Audrey's leaves. I idly wondered where the security team was, eyes focused on the single drop of blood that hung at the tip of one of her teeth. Suddenly she released me, and I felt the most peculiar sensation of my life. It was as if I was descending into an enormous forested tunnel, with great ferns and broad-leafed plants surrounding me, enveloping me. A green tunnel, ancient, choked with plants of every size and color, and from imaginable. Jeez, this is a lot of reading. It is nearly impossible to describe, for I did not see any of this in this odd vision hallucination. I felt it. It was as if each pore of my blood was a telescope, channeling information far more thoroughly than the human eye can process. It was then that I realized I was inside Audrey. Kinda creepy. Or, more accurately, experiencing that bundle of cells within Audrey, long since dormant, erupting into life, blazing. An undiscovered, unexpected world rich with experiences and recollections, bound in the body of this plant. Then, just as my body was beginning to open to this place, or this time, or this memory, whatever it was, the door between us faded, and I floated back to my own body, my own time, my own mind. Dazed, I looked around, trying to figure out what had happened. When I heard the alarm, finally security was responding. In horror, I realized that the team would probably terminate Audrey. Me, lying there, with an injured leg, blood on her leaves, clear evidence of a puncture wound. The security team had a standing order demanded by Bioengine, there we go, apparently at the objection of Vault 22's project coordinating staff, to terminate any specimen that seriously injured a member of the science team. No exceptions. I heard the elevator arriving. I had at most 30 seconds to decide what to do. I looked at Audrey, wondering if there was even a whisper of the chemically induced bond remaining. Danger, hide, I thought, as forcefully as I could. If there was ever a time in my life when thought hard, it was then. I heard the elevator rasping down the shaft. 20 seconds. Nothing. Audrey still sat, blood still dripping from her leaves, oblivious. Mind racing, I thought of anything I could think of to trigger a fear response. Locusts, poisons, a shudder. The elevator had stopped. 15 seconds until the doors opened, and the fire team would burst in, armed and ready. That was it. Fire! 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 I screamed in my mind, thinking images of fires, infernos, forests in ash, trees reduced to soot by the flames. Poof! With a barely audible rustling of leaves, Audrey disappeared, collapsing into a bulb-shaped mass, as she did that day when the light shattered and sparks and glass rained down on her. 10 seconds, I had to find a way to explain the puncture in my leg. Casual observation would reveal what had happened. My eyes settled on a pitchfork used to distribute mulch and dirt around the pens. I said a silent prayer of thanks to the maintenance worker who forgot to return it to the supply closet. I leaned over and grabbed the pitchfork and raised it above my wounded leg, positioning the tines carefully above the wound inflicted by Audrey. 5 seconds. No more time for thoughts. I brought the pitchfork down, sending a fresh gout of blood out of my tortured leg. I shrieked this time, eyes welling with tears. The fire team burst in, a squad of 6 men, all armed with top-of-the-line weapons. "Find the target!" shouted the squad leader, throwing indecipherable hand signals to the team as they flanked me, barrels darting around like the tongues of dark birds seeking nectar from corrupted... What? Oops, now that was the pain medication talking. Forgive me. Trying my best to muster an expression of shame and apology, I pointed to the pitchfork sticking out of my leg. The leader made a disgusted snort and radioed in. ID 10 T error, over. Tango contact negative. No target to be neutralized. Send medic unit to research bay. Bravo team returning to station. All 6 of the men made sure to glare at me, then returned to the elevator. Normally I would have been outraged that not one of them had offered to help me, but now I was relieved. I fell back into the soft dirt, and the next thing I remembered was waking up in a hospital. I cannot wait to return to work. There is much to do, much to learn. Holy crap, this is a lot of reading. How big is this last one? Because it might have to wait until the next episode. Oh, I think it's going to wait until the next episode. Yep, alright, that's going to wait until the next episode, peeps. I'm sorry, but I don't think my voice can hold on. And, you know, it seems like my eyes can't hold on either. Okay, I thought you were something, but you're not. Okay, either way, I'm going to end the episode here. Like I said, in the next episode, I will read that, and then we will go on to figure out what we're supposed to do. I'm guessing it has something to do with Audrey and her sap. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Bye.